Good afternoon, and thanks for having us in. A man with a long criminal history is accused of robbing a Sioux Falls casino and raping a woman who worked there. Police say 36-year-old Marion Brooks held up Ace's Casino on South Cliff Avenue using a stolen gun just before 11 o'clock last night. Authorities say he took cash and then raped the clerk in a back room. As soon as he left, she called police and was able to give them a good description. There was also surveillance video.
There's really absolutely no connection between the victim and the suspect, and that's really one of the things that makes this so troubling. Frequently when we have robberies, it's a stranger. Obviously this has taken it to a whole new level with the sexual assault that took place.
Authorities found Brooks around 3:30 this morning in Central Sioux Falls and brought him into custody. He faces numerous charges, including rape and robbery. Now, if his name sounds familiar, Brooks has been in the news before. We'll take a look at his criminal history later today on KELOLAND News. Aberdeen Police Department posted this Ring surveillance video in hopes of finding these individuals. The police want to contact them in reference to a burglary investigation. If you have any information, you're encouraged to contact Aberdeen Police. Switching gears to weather, we had rain this morning. There's more rain on the way, and we're also tracking the possibility of storms before too long. Right, Brian?
Yeah, in fact, some new thunderstorms are already going in the Black Hills. It's been an active morning in central South Dakota. Let's take a look at the latest on the radar. You can see as of midday, things are beginning to dwindle there. Clearly, that signature from about Puckwana down into Charles Mix County and then crossing over to about O'Neill. That's about the zone there where this is just going to kind of shrivel up. But the west, that's popped up again, and we're going to be talking about that. Let's go in a little closer there. There's that rain from Lake Andes to O'Neill, and some pretty healthy downpours with some of this. We were scanning on Viper and finding probably around Colombe, I would say between there and Gregory, there's nice rain in there. At least 2 inches, probably a local amount more than that. Burke, quite a bit of rain too, likely over 2 inches of rain. Of course, you can find parts of Gregory County where it's not nearly that heavy, up in the northwest. And then likewise, you can scan up to the north. Let's go up for a sample near Oneida, Highmore, Miller. Generally speaking, some nice rains. I mean, anything in green here is over a half an inch, and you can easily find some spots to pluck out of an inch or two near Oneida, Highmore. But if you go like Harold, for example, then it didn't rain nearly as much there. So I just want to clarify that this has been a summer like that. There's just a hodgepodge of rain totals. Here we go again in the Black Hills. Thunderstorms are firing up. You can see a few of those near Lead. There's more on the Wyoming side of the border. I think this area is going to get raked over with, again, more rain the next 24 hours. Very likely. It sure is damp when we look at our camera up at Terry Peak. 54. Our temperature, it's kind of cool too. Marginal risk of severe weather in western and central South Dakota today is shown on the map. Your bigger severe weather will stay south in Nebraska as it appears at this time. So today, try to stay cool in the southeast. We're right there close to 90 this afternoon in Sioux Falls. Not far from that for Watertown and Aberdeen. What will the thunderstorms do next? We're going to look at that with Futurecast coming up in a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you, Brian. NASA is launching what it calls a new era in Earth science with a fleet of state-of-the-art satellites to create a comprehensive 4D view of the Earth. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson opened the Earth Information Center in Washington, D.C. The center will combine new information with 5 decades of data about the Earth's land, water, ice, and atmosphere to help people respond to climate change. Visitors to the exhibit will see a 22-foot hyperwall with real-time data aimed at providing leaders with the information they need to make decisions in our ever-changing environment. President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, agreed to plead guilty to 2 charges tied to his failure to pay income taxes and to admit to the illegal possession of a handgun. As part of the plea agreement, 3 charges were filed in a Delaware court. 2 misdemeanor counts of willful failure to pay federal income tax on annual earnings in excess of $1.5 million. A 3rd count, possession of a handgun by a drug user, would be dismissed if Hunter Biden remains drug-free and commits no additional crimes during a specified time period. With time running out, there's a glimmer of hope in the search for a missing submersible with 5 people on board. Rescue crews have detected underwater noises. Now, the vessel was on its way to view the wreck of the Titanic when it disappeared. Roxana Saberi reports from Boston, where the search is being coordinated.
The U.S. Coast Guard confirms that a Canadian aircraft detected underwater noises in the search area. Crews have refocused their efforts on trying to pinpoint where those noises are coming from.
It's a target, it's a focus for us to look at.
U.S.-based OceanGate Expeditions operated the voyage, which takes tourists to the famous Titanic shipwreck in the North Atlantic Ocean. OceanGate CEO and founder Stockton Rush is among those on board. In an interview with CBS Sunday Morning last year, Rush defended the safety of the submersible.
The pressure vessel is not MacGyver at all, because that's where we work with Boeing and NASA and the University of Washington. Everything else can fail. Your thrusters can go, your lights can go, you're still going to be safe.
According to 2018 court filings, a former OceanGate employee said he was fired after voicing concerns about the Titan, saying it posed potential danger to passengers. But in court documents filed this April, OceanGate said the vessel was capable of diving the depth to the Titanic site with a comfortable safety margin.
You know going in how very dangerous this is.
Mike Reese traveled on the Titan almost a year ago.
No one walks into this surprised. Before you even get on, you sign this long waiver that mentions possible death 3 times on the first page.
As for those underwater noises that were detected, the U.S. Coast Guard says data from the Canadian aircraft has been shared with U.S. Navy experts for more analysis and will be used in the search efforts. Roxana Saberi, CBS News, Boston.
The Coast Guard said 3 search vessels arrived on scene this morning, including the John Cabot, which has side-scanning sonar capabilities.